Hey guys, welcome back to my show. Well, we're here. Zoran Mamdani, a pro-jihad socialist, is going to be New York City's next mayor, and Republicans got their asses handed to them in Virginia and New Jersey. And like most of you, I've spent the last couple of days feeling down and depressed, but the time for that's over. It's time to reflect and decide how we on the right, and as Jews, move forward from here. Now, the good news is Mamdani is not going to be able to implement the socialism he wants overnight. He's got a city council he needs to go through. He's got a state assembly he needs to go through for his so-called tax hikes on the wealthy. And not to mention, he's got a Trump administration he's going to contend with for 3 out of his 4 years in office. Now, the bad news is his presence alone is going to embolden anti-Semites. Someone who chants with no regret, globalize the Intifada, and can't speak coherently when asked whether Hamas should disarm, is going to be sending a bad signal to anti-Semites. There's no question about it. So, unfortunately, us Jews in New York are going to have to prepare for some tough times ahead. But for those of you saying get up and leave, I mean, with all due respect, where's your spine? Is New York not something worth fighting for? We've spent a long time feeling comfortable in this political environment. When the going gets tough, doesn't mean it's time to get up and leave. We have a governor's race in exactly 2 years, and it's most likely that Elise Stefanik will be running as a Republican against Kathy Hochul. And there's clear signs that she can win. If you look at the mayoral race, Mamdani only got 52% of the vote in the city. That's low for a Democrat. The other half clearly doesn't support socialism or jihadism, and the rest of New York State at large is very, very red. Combine that with a coalition of level-headed Democrats and independents statewide, and that's a recipe for success. On a side note, I take a lot of inspiration from Scott Presler. He's someone that's went door to door in every swing state, registering hundreds of thousands of voters. I honestly believe he single-handedly won Trump in the state of Pennsylvania in 2024. And there's no reason we can't do the same as a community. Unfortunately, the average person forgets off-year elections like this one even happened in the first place. And that's when Democrats use the opportunity to sweep the rug out right from under you. Virginia is an unfortunate example of that, as not 4 years ago, Glenn Youngkin was elected as a Republican governor in a blue state. But this time around, not only was a Democrat elected in his place, the candidate for Attorney General Jay Jones was someone who bragged about wanting his Republican colleagues and their children to be killed in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Yet he won his race. What does that say about us? We can do better. Which leads me to my next subject. The American right is undergoing an identity crisis. And while some say it's just petty infighting with no real consequences, I argue to the contrary. It actually has a very real consequences for the future of our country. We've watched as the left has given into their radicals. Obviously, that just happened in New York. The question is whether we're going to allow ourselves to be consumed by our radicals. The Nick Fuenteses of the world, the Tucker Carlsons, the Candace Owens of the world. Think about it. Donald Trump miraculously won the presidency again last year. We have control of both houses of Congress, and he's accomplished more in his first year back than any president in recent memory. Yet some people think it's better to sit in front of a camera and put a microscope on Israel and the Jews and blame them for all our problems. You call us un-American? You call us not America first? You think we place the interests of Israel above America? Supporting Israel doesn't mean we're against an America First agenda. On the contrary, if you're concerned about the minuscule amount of our budget that goes to the military, that's fine. You should be in support of the Abraham Accords. I mean, I see it as the biggest win-win for both sides. We bring peace and stability to the region, thereby making their economies self-sufficient, and in return, we don't have to get involved in foreign wars or fund them. I mean, what could be better? This isn't about criticism of Israel. You're lying and gaslighting people on the internet and manipulating people and using criticism of Israel as a vehicle to peddle in anti-Semitism. In fact, not only is it wrong and evil, it'll lose us elections. Donald Trump built a broad coalition with the help of Charlie Kirk to win the last election. That includes a lot of former Democrats who were so sick and tired of the woke nonsense that they couldn't help but vote for Donald Trump, because we represent the side of being sane and normal. In fact, you know what isn't popular among the American public? Denying the Holocaust, insulting the vice president's wife and kids because of their Indian heritage, hating black people, advocating for Hitler. I mean, if you want to push people back to the left, I couldn't see a better way to do it. Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace, was assassinated less than 2 months ago. And the American right is starved for moral leadership without him. That leadership will not come in the form of far-right anti-Semites, the people which he devoted his life to keeping in check. It's up to us to do the same. But if we lose sight of what our goals are and who we are, we're looking at a President AOC in 2028. I'm sure all the criticism of the Jews will be worth it then. Stay moral and stay focused. See you on the next one.